Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If there's one thing that the Packers are always aiming for, it's maintaining that competitive edge, especially on defense. And let me tell you, there's some serious buzz going around about a potential blockbuster trade that could shake up the NFC North in a big way. Rumors are swirling that the Green Bay Packers are eyeing a move for Antoine Winfield Jr., the versatile safety from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And honestly, if this deal goes through, it could be a game-changer for the Packers' secondary, which has been a bit banged up lately, especially with the injury to Williams. So what's all the fuss about? Well, sources indicate that the Buccaneers, sitting at 6-3 and currently holding a cap space of around $5 million, are willing to part ways with Winfield in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Tampa Bay is prioritizing a rebuild of their salary cap to free up space for upcoming extensions, particularly for their quarterback, Baker Mayfield, which is eating into their cap room. They're making strategic moves to bolster the front seven, allowing only 4 yards per carry and focusing on maintaining a strong run defense. Meanwhile, the Packers at 5-3-1 are in desperate need of a boost in their secondary, especially with the injury to Williams, which has exposed some vulnerabilities in coverage, particularly against medium passes. Now let's talk about why Winfield Jr. is such an intriguing target for Green Bay. This guy is not just any safety. He's a dynamic all-pro caliber player who can do it all. In 2025, he's been solid in 9 games, tallying 27 solo tackles, 15 assists, 42 combined tackles, along with a sack, an interception, and a forced fumble. His career stats are impressive, with 12 interceptions, over 300 tackles, and 3 Pro Bowl appearances. His PFF grade hovers around 98, which is elite, and he excels in coverage, allowing just 52% of passes to be completed when targeted. His EPA per snap stands at -0.32, indicating he's a reliable and impactful defender. Moreover, his tackle rate is about 85%, and he's only missed 1 game due to injury, showcasing his durability and consistency. Imagine adding Winfield to the Packers' secondary. His versatility would allow defensive coordinator Joe Barry to deploy him in multiple roles, whether as a deep safety, a nickel, or even closer to the line of scrimmage. His presence would immediately elevate the turnover margin, possibly adding around 4 extra interceptions, boosting the team's total to around 18 for the season, and significantly improve their tackling efficiency. Right now, the Packers are allowing roughly 6 points per game, but with a player like Winfield, that number could drop into the mid-teens, making them a much more formidable unit. Furthermore, Winfield's ability to create turnovers is a huge plus. Last year, he forced a fumble and snagged an interception, but his true value lies in his playmaking ability, which could translate into more picks and forced fumbles for Green Bay. His aggressive, ball-hawking style would complement the likes of Ruddy Ford and other secondary players, creating a more reactive and aggressive back end. This would help the Packers turn games around with big plays and turnovers, much like what they need to challenge tough NFC opponents like the Detroit Lions or the Minnesota Vikings. In terms of impact, analysts believe that acquiring Winfield Jr. could push the Packers' defense into elite territory. They could see an increase of about 70 tackles over the rest of the season, along with a reduction in opponents' points per game by nearly 4 points. His presence would also help seal off the middle of the field against medium passes, an area where Green Bay's secondary has occasionally struggled. Winfield's ability to read the quarterback and make plays on the ball would be pivotal, especially as the season heats up and playoff positioning becomes crucial. Now let's take a closer look at what this means for the Packers' overall outlook. They've already been solid this year, but consistency and playmaking are what can take them from good to great. Adding a player like Winfield Jr. isn't just about improving a position, it's about transforming the entire back end of the defense. His presence would also send a strong message to the NFC. The Packers are serious about competing for a deep playoff run, and they're willing to make aggressive moves to get there. And we can't forget the playoff implications. Winfield, with his knack for making big plays in critical moments, could be the X factor that pushes Green Bay over the top. His previous playoff performances, especially with the Buccaneers, where he displayed his ball-hawking skills and leadership, make him a perfect fit for the Packers' ambitions. The odds of the Packers winning a Super Bowl could see a significant boost with his addition, especially considering how much his presence could elevate their secondary and overall team performance. Bookmakers are already betting on the impact he could have, with odds improving from plus 2,000 to around plus 850 if the trade goes through, reflecting the increased confidence in Green Bay's Super Bowl chances. Now, of course, there are some reasons behind the Buccaneers' willingness to trade Winfield. Tampa Bay is looking to free up cap space, especially with their plans to extend Mayfield, which could cost around $190 million in total. They're prioritizing shoring up their front seven, allowing only 4 yards per carry, and focusing on maintaining their run defense. This move, while tough, makes sense from their perspective. They're shifting focus to an offensive rebuild and cap management. For the Packers, it's an opportunity to snatch up a top-tier safety who can immediately impact their defense without a long adjustment period. In terms of what Winfield brings to the field, his profile fits perfectly with the Packers' current needs. His 2025 stats show he's a complete safety, able to cover, tackle, and create turnovers. His low injury rate and explosive tackling, over 84%, make him a reliable and aggressive defender, which is exactly what Green Bay needs to bolster their secondary and reduce explosive plays allowed. With Winfield, the Packers can build a more reactive and aggressive back end, making it harder for opponents to find openings downfield and forcing more turnovers that can turn games around. This potential trade could also have ripple effects across the NFC North. The Lions and Vikings, both with potent offenses, would have a tougher time against a Packers secondary featuring Winfield Jr., especially with his ability to cover medium routes and make game-changing plays. The NFC North is already highly competitive, and adding a player of Winfield's caliber could tip the scales, giving Green Bay a formidable edge both in the regular season and in the playoffs. Looking ahead, the Packers are building a team that's hungry for another Super Bowl run, and every strategic move counts. They've shown a willingness to be aggressive when it comes to improving their roster, and acquiring Anton Winfield Jr. would be a statement move. It would send a clear message to the division and the league. The Packers are serious contenders, and they're ready to make bold moves to get back to the top. As fans, we know defense wins championships, and adding a player like Winfield Jr. could be the missing piece in their puzzle. His combination of coverage skills, ball-hawking ability, and leadership would elevate the entire unit. Plus, with the current roster featuring talented players like Ruddy Ford and young linebackers, Winfield would be the perfect veteran presence to anchor the secondary and lead by example. Overall, this trade rumor is exciting not just because of the potential on-field impact, but because it shows how committed the Packers are to competing at the highest level. With the NFC North tightening up and playoff spots within reach, every move counts. And if Green Bay manages to pull off this deal, fans can expect their team to be even more dangerous as they chase another Super Bowl title, continuing their storied tradition of excellence and resilience. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think acquiring Anton Winfield Jr. would make the Packers a legit Super Bowl favorite? How do you see him fitting into the defense, and what kind of impact do you expect him to have? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. Keep that passion alive, and as always, go Pack Go.